Hi everyone, once again welcome back, and today in this video I'm going to implement two things. The very first thing is I'm going to add an active class. So let's say I'm on the dashboard, so I want to make this button active, right? And if I'm on the home page, I want to make the home active, right? Okay, and the next thing is I'm going to implement middleware on the Vue.js side. So here, if I'm on the dashboard and want to visit the login page, I shouldn't be able to visit the login page, right? So these are the two things which are required. So as you know that we are implementing on the backend side, but still we need on the front end side too. So before this, I'm going to implement class here, that if I'm on the dashboard, it should be now marked as green to display that I'm on this page. So let's go here. It's very simple in the Vue world, right? So here in the app.js, this app.js contain these links, and then this home contain this active, right? So let's remove this active, and yes, it's now marked as inactive. So this active class is responsible for activating the button. So let's say add the active, save this one, and yes, this is marked as active. So I'm going to remove this active, so now it's inactive. So I want to make this dynamically, I don't want to manually handle this stuff, right? So in Bootstrap, we need to add active class into whatever route we are visiting. So here we will tell the Vue.js that to add the active class, right, whatever the route we are visiting. So here just in the router, here after the routes, just pass this link active class, right? Link active class, we are linking active class, we are overriding the by default active class of Vue.js to this active class, which is a bootstrap class, right, which we are using here, right? So we'll now use this dynamically, whatever our route is active, so it will add the active class, right? Save this one, and yes, you can see this, our dashboard is now automatically active, and this home is not active, right? So if I'll visit this home, so now this will mark as inactive and this will become active. Click on this, and yes, it become active and it's marked as inactive, right? So let's visit it again, and yes, it's inactive and it's active, right? So in this way you can very simple way you can make this active. Perfect, you did a good job. And now I want to protect my route. So if I go here and let me show the login here, so let's say if I click on this login, so I'll able to visit the login even I'm logged in. Just click on this, here I'm back. So I don't want to do this. So here let's middleware comes and solve our issue. So now your question is that we applied the middleware on the backend side, right? So let's say here we are getting this information and we are protected with the middleware. So let's log out this user, and I want to visit the dashboard. So let's say dashboard. So now this user is not able to access the information of the content, right? But still he is able to visit the dashboard page, right? We don't want to do this. So now we need to apply the middleware on the backend and front end too. So in this video, I'm going to apply this on the front end, and on the backend side, we already implemented this. So let me show you in a minute. So here we applied this on the auth/sanctum. So whatever the routes you want to protect, so just add this into this group, right? Okay, let's close this one, and here I'm going to now add a middleware. So just go to this router/index.js, and here I'm going to write my logic, because I want to first check that my route is require authentication or not. So here I will say router, let me add more space here, router dot before each, right? Before each, so to accept the parameter to, from, and next, right? And here I'm going to say check the overall my logic here. So first we need our state, that what's our state, right? So how we can get our state? So we are now in the JS file. So I'm going to import the store at the top and then get its state. So here I'm going to say import store from store, right? Store slash index.js. So by default it's load the index.js, so you don't need to mention this index.js, but I'm mentioning this for following the convention. Okay. And now here I want to get the authentication states. Is authenticated. I created this variable, and here I'm going to say that store dot state, or we can get the getters dot auth status. I think it would be the auth status. Let me double verify it from the store. It's a auth status. Perfect. Okay, we got this same. And now we are getting this status and storing this to this is authenticated. And now I want to now check that if my route is to.meta dot require authentication, right? Require auth, right? I'm checking that is it required auth, and then if it's not authenticated, is authenticated. If it's not authenticated, push this back on the login. So say next slash login, something like this, right? So what it does is basically we are checking that where we want to go, and then we are checking that it required the authentication. So I will add this meta tag in my routes here in a minute, or maybe I need to add this now to remove the burden from you. Maybe you are confused at why I'm adding this out. So here I'm going to add a meta, and then I'm going to tell that to require auth, and then this would be true. So it means that I'm telling Vue.js that this route should be protected, right? It should be available when, then I'm entering my logic here that whenever I'm logged in, I need to redirect me on the dashboard. So that's why I'm referencing this meta here and checking its require authentication if it's true, and if it's not authenticated, so any of the state is not returning false, I want to redirect this on the login page. But if I'm authenticated, let's say else if I'm authenticated and my route is to.name equal login, right? So I'm calling my name this, right? I'm calling this my route name, and I'll also call this register name too. And here to.name equal register, right? I'm calling this login if I'm on the login or register, and I'm authenticated, right? I'm visiting login page, register page, and here I need to add or condition, right? If I'm on the login page or I'm on the register page and I'm authenticated, I redirect me on what? Redirect me on the dashboard. So say next to slash dashboard, something like this. Spell it correctly, dashboard. And else I'm going to add another else here to next. So this is for the routes which are not protected, so I want to proceed, right? Here I'm redirecting on the login page if I'm not logged in, right? And checking that if I'm visiting login or register page and authenticated, I'm going to want to redirect this to the dashboard. And then here checking that if I'm not logged in and want to visit the unprotected routes, so I can visit those routes. So just to give it a save here and test our application. So now let's say let's wait for a minute to reload this out properly. And by the way, you can pull this whole code from my GitHub repository. So I'll push this code after the end of this series, so you can get the code from my GitHub repository, which is github.com/hadiniazi. You can directly go there and check that Vue.js, Laravel and Vuejs authentication series. So let me go here and hard reload this. Why taking too long? Okay, wait for a minute. And guys, you are doing great job. So in this whole series you learned that how we can use Vue.js in Laravel, how you can add routes, Vue.js routes in the Laravel, how you can pass the authorization headers using Laravel, how you can submit the authorization request on the server, how you can protect the middleware on the backend and on the front end too, right? Why taking too long? Let me maybe it's redirecting me again and again. Something happened like this. Okay guys, so here I'm doing two mistakes. First one is typo mistake and other one is syntax mistake. So let's go here and open this out. So we need requires auth here, right? Not require, and this should be also requires auth, right? And here I'm checking that to first condition, then second condition, and then third condition, right? But I want to check this condition overall and then want to match with this one. So here I need to separate them within this parenthesis. So either this or this I want to then match with this one, right? So which one of them return true, so I want to match with this one. Save this one and let's open this into the new tab. And yes, working like a charm. So let's click on this dashboard and we are able to visit this dashboard. And now if I go here on the home page, now I'm on the home page, right? And if I visit this login, so it will kick me back on the dashboard. So let's click on this dashboard and yes, it's kicked me back, right? On the dashboard, I'm not able to visit this login, right? So if I go here and log out this out, and here now I'm not logged in, right? So if I want to visit this dashboard, so it's redirect me back on the login. So let's do it one more time here, dashboard, and yes, it's kicked me back on the login page. And if I say I want to log in this user, just click on this login and let's click on this home, click on this login, so we are returned back. So it means that our middleware is perfectly working fine, right? So we are also added this active tab class and we are successfully able to apply the middleware on the protected routes. So now if you want to protect other routes, so just add this meta tag with require authentication true to tell that Vue.js that these are the authenticated routes, right? So then it will check that if this one is required and it's not authenticated, it will push them to the login page, right? And then if these are true, so then it will turn to the dashboard, and then this will move on to the next one, which are unprotected routes. Perfect. I think that's it for this series and in the next video I'm going to refactor my code. Just refactor is about authentication of my code, right? So I'll remove the console things and basically clean up my code and then push this on my GitHub repo, so we'll get the code from there. And if you like the series, please share your feedback and support me on my mission to shoot the premium courses free of cost. So I'll see you guys in the next one.